Hey everybody, this is Bob coming at you with a look at a scope that I just bought from Webyshops.com. I ordered the Trijicon AccuPoint. I was looking for a high quality scope with a reasonable price that offered a few things. I wanted an illuminated reticle, but I wanted something that didn't need batteries. Trijicon is a very trusted name. As some of you may know, or are familiar, they also make the AccuPoint scope, which is a real nice scope that I've had some trigger time behind. But in this particular case, I wanted something that had a little bit more range on it. With the variable magnification of the 3-9 on this, I felt this was going to be the best choice for me. Also came with a set of lens caps there. We'll set those aside. Came with a lens pen. For those of you that might get dust on your objective, you can use that to clean that, or the eyepiece. Real nice. Nice thing to have them include. We'll set that aside. So it came with the limited lifetime warranty paperwork on it. It also came with a product summary card. And we've got here the operator's manual. This covers all of the AccuPoint Riflescopes. Inside it's got the controls and indicators, your different figures for that. It shows the different crosshairs and stuff that are available. You can get stuff with a mil dot, you can get a green reticle, an amber reticle, or you can get a German style crosshair. Shows the different operations on this. Just a real nice manual there with lots of nice big pictures. And looking at the scope itself here, we've got what looks like a standard target or hunting style rifle scope, with the only main differences being that this has on the outside here we've got the fiber optics. Being dual illuminated, this has not only the fiber optics, but it has tritium inside. And the tritium is real nice, so if you're in real low light conditions or in complete darkness, your dot on this will glow green. We've got the focus on the back side of the diopter here, so you can adjust the focus manually. We have the magnification dial here. It has real nice knurled edges on it, so you can adjust that real nice and easy. It doesn't feel forced, it doesn't feel sloppy, just a real nice positive feel on that. And we've also got the manual brightness override for our dot here. So if you find that your dot in lower light situations is too overpowering, you can adjust that. So those are some nice things here that set this thing apart. As I mentioned, this thing does not take batteries. That's something that was very important to me. How many times have I gone into my rifle safe and pulled out a scope and taken it to the range and it doesn't work? It's happened more than once. This will never happen on this scope. The tritium, as long as it remains glowing, will always be there. The fiber optics will always be there. That's just a real nice thing. We've got one of the added bonus features of that is, we get about a half hour earlier in the morning or a half hour later in the evening that we can see our crosshairs, because that is glowing. It makes it real nice seeing that dot. You can use both eyes open when you're using this scope, which was real nice. I'm used to using like aim points and things like that, where I'm accustomed to shooting with both eyes open. Of course, if you want to use one eye closed method, you can do that with this scope. But for those of us that are more comfortable shooting with having both of our eyes open, this is a great scope for that. We got this through Webyshops.com, as I mentioned before. Their customer service was far above and beyond what I've experienced with other large retailers. I had ordered this on a Tuesday. I received order confirmation and a tracking number the following day. 5 days later, this was on my doorstep. Very pleased with Webyshops. I will be shopping with them again in the future. We've just got a real nice high quality scope here. The lenses and stuff are real high quality. They have anti-glare on them. I'm an eyeglass wearer. I find that when I'm looking through this scope, I'm not getting a lot of glare. Other scopes in this price range I was looking at were like the loopholed Vari X3. I felt that the clarity and the length of focus on this was a little bit better than that particular scope. I like the loophole just fine. I believe the Trijicon in that same price range is a better scope. To go a little bit further, I might actually say that the clarity on this is probably going to rival that pretty close of like a Swarovski. I put some trigger time on the Swarovskis. I'm very familiar with them. My dad has one on one of his mule deer rifles, and I think that this scope, at least to my eyes, feels every bit as clear as that scope. With that, I think we're going to get this thing mounted up on to the rifle. We're going to be using it on a FN Herstal Scar 17S or a 17 Heavy, and we're going to get this on the range, and we're going to put it through some live fire tests. If you're interested in seeing that, stay tuned. I'll be giving more thoughts on this scope and my final thoughts at the end. I want to thank Webyshops for their quick service on this and being able to answer my questions promptly. Anyway, all right, going hot. Real nice sight picture on this scope. The clarity side to side is incredible. It's a lot more clear than like my Leopold Very X3 that I have. And seems to be grouping really well. I've got a 3-shot group going right now, and it looks like it's probably sub-inch right now. Alright, we're going to make a quick few adjustments on this thing and get this thing zeroed in to where it needs to be. Looks like we're about 2 inches low and 2 inches to the left. For just mounting it up without having to make any adjustments, really happy with that. So anyway, I'm going to tune out for a second here, and we're going to get back to it. Alright, we're back at it again. Looks like we've got this thing pretty much zeroed in where we want it. It's holding really, really tight groups. Right now it's probably about 1/2 inch 3-round groups is what we're shooting right now. With this bright light out here, we can adjust the fiber optics in this. It's fully adjustable, and you know, zeroing in on this thing with the magnification, the 9 power was really nice. I'm really glad that went with this scope over the ACOG, which is just a fixed low power. But I can really get out there and send some rounds down range quite effectively. Anyway, we're gonna keep firing here, and I'll give you my final thoughts at the end of the day. We're shooting at 300 yards at a steel plate that's about 14 inches round, and looking through the scope here, it appears that every single round, you know, that I fired into that plate, probably the last 10 rounds, are probably within 3 inches, and I can see through the scope well enough to be able to see that, and it's just a really fine scope. I really like it. Anyway, we're going to keep sending some more rounds through this thing today, and so far, all my thoughts are quite pleasant about this scope. Good scope. As an eyeglass wearer, this is a real nice scope to use. No glare whatsoever running this thing, you know, and I'm able to have a real nice length of focus here that just feels real nice and comfortable. As I mentioned before, the clarity on this thing is, it rivals scopes that are running $1,500. You know, my father runs a Swarovski scope on one of his mule deer rifles, and I think that the clarity on this Trijicon is every bit as good as that scope. So, for the price, I think that this scope is really hard to beat.